Don't be no fool, because the enemy knows that a lot of Christians know the word, but they don't know the context of the word. Look at how he deceived Eve. She knew the word. She knew what God had said. See, it's not that Eve didn't know what God said. The enemy played on the fact that she knew what God said, but she did not understand in context exactly what he meant when he said that surely you will die. And so he was able to twist that word and tweak it just a little bit because she did not understand in depths what God was truly saying. So much so that when she was tested and tempted about what God had said, she herself then changed what God had originally and actually said. He didn't say don't touch it. He said do not eat from it. Know your word, people. Know it. Know it in context. Don't be comfortable just knowing what it says. Don't be comfortable with a whole bunch of head knowledge, but you have no heart knowledge. You have no context. You have knowledge, but you don't, with all your knowledge, you didn't get any understanding. Eve didn't understand that she would die a spiritual death and be separated from God. But the devil knew. He knew exactly what that word meant when God spoke it because it had happened to him and the 1/3 of angels that he was able to convince. He had experienced spiritual death because of his fall. And so therefore it was his plan to make man fall so that we could spiritually die too. That's why you must be reborn of the water and of the spirit. See, the enemy's intention was to make Eve fold. His intentions is to make you fold. But do not. I'm convinced that had Eve understood in context what God was saying, she would have thought twice. She would have had second thoughts about even touching that fruit, let alone devouring it. Understand that context and the word is like husband and wife. They go together. They're married to one another. You cannot have one without the other, because if you even try to do that, you will go lacking. You will be the one Jesus was talking about when he said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. We got to understand that having word and no context is a dangerous thing. God says to ask for wisdom and I will give it to you. My people perish for a lack of knowledge. Is that not exactly what happened at the fall in the beginning? God says get wisdom, and in all you're getting, get understanding. You can possess something all day, but if you lack understanding on what to do with it, then what you have is useless. It's like possessing a college degree to become a surgeon, knowing good and well that you cheated your whole way through to get that degree. Yeah, you possess the degree to make yourself look good and sound good, but what good is that when it's actually time to enter into the operating room and you have no knowledge as to what it even entails to actually be a surgeon? Because who you operating on? You need to be trying to operate on self before you try to operate on somebody else. That's a word. Because this is the issue for a lot of Christians. You lean on your own understanding. You read with the exclusion of context, and then you memorize the word with no understanding. You cannot be bewitched if you cover all angles. The Holy Ghost is there to teach you and to lead you and to guide you. It's his job.